Hey, welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This report is going to be about your TNA Turning Point pay-per-view, but I've got some small news to tell you about Jeff Hardy. And he did make his return in the pay-per-view tonight. Okay, here we go with Jeff Hardy news. It's highlights from a recent interview he did with Impact Wrestling. Somebody did with Impact Wrestling star Jeff Hardy. Hardy on his current legal situation, he's quoted by saying, "I've done my 10 days. I'm on intensive probation right now, but it's cool that I'm still able to work. I have a curfew when I'm at home. I have to be in at 6 p.m. like a little kid. I can't have any company after 6 o'clock. I'm 2 months into that, so I have 4 more months of that left. Then I have 30 months of regular probation. I've moved on. It was a rough, dark time in my life, and it was a lot of stress, but I feel better that I'm finally over that." Then he commented on whether or not he was afraid he would return to wrestling. Quote, "I think wrestling will always, in some way, be a part of my life. Going way back, there was actually some doubt after my arrest. Oh my God, my life is over. That initial fear is crazy. It's real intense, but as time passes, you move on with things. Wrestling will always be a part of my life. There was probably a little bit of doubt, but never full throttle," unquote. Hardy spoke on his brother Matt. Quote, "He is good. He is in great spirits. I don't talk to him much. Every time I talk to him, he seems to be doing really well. So I think everything is really positive. Can't really say what's next for him, but deep down, Matt has always wanted to open a wrestling school. He is probably going to focus on that more than anything now. He has been beaten up, but anything is possible. He has such a great mind for professional wrestling. He will make a great agent. I think he would always want to be a part of it because he loves it a lot more than I do. He will be involved in it some way. Just don't know how, don't know here or there. But I think definitely the first thing he will focus on is the wrestling school." And you can check out the complete interview online at MiamiHerald.com. And now, what you've all been waiting for, 2011 Turning Point pay-per-view kicked off with a video package looking at tonight's matches. And they had the footage of presidential, political, and war theme to it because it's being Friday was Veterans Day, so they highlighted that little section for the veterans. Called it Veterans. Okay. And then they were, while focusing on the recent happenings between TNA World Heavyweight Champion Robbie Roode and AJ Styles. And we're live from the Impact Wrestling Zone, and the floor arrow goes off. And to turning and Taz are on the announcers as they go. TNA TV title match was advertised for this match, according to the TNA Wrestling website. And then there was something on Facebook that countered it, and another live video. The first was delayed. Actually, and on the pre-show, never did a highlight show, if it even showed at all. Whenever it was ever on the Facebook account for TNA Wrestling, and it bait and switch scam put you on TNA on demand, and it sucked because every time you take a deep breath, well, it went into a lag. Load. Okay, well, back to the pay-per-view. We got Robbie with Rob Terry out next the TNA television area. And up with Marie on the ring. Under Terry, Robbie comes out, and Young Jackson before bringing it back in the ring. Young keeps control of the match and sends Robbie out to regroup. Robbie comes back in, and Young goes to the floor to lock up with SoCal Val. More stalling and comedy from Eric Young until Terry leveled him on the floor. They brought it back to the ring, and Robbie gets a 2 count on Young. Young starts taking 2 counts and around, comes off the second rope with a forearm for a 2 count of his own. Robbie with a back elbow off the ropes and another 2 count. Robbie goes to a headlock on the mat now. Robbie keeps control after Eric tries to make a comeback. Young finally breaks out of a headlock with a jawbreaker. Robbie wails on Young, but he just takes it. Young takes off his pants to reveal trunks and his high-flying forearm. Okay, EY fights his way in from the ring apron and drop kicks Robbie. Young with a belly-to-belly throw and a big elbow from the top rope for a 2 count as Terry breaks the pin and pulls Robbie out to the floor. Young goes to the top and leaps out on both men to the floor. Young brings Robbie back in the ring, but Terry knocks him down from the apron. Terry throws Young back in as Robbie covers for the win and becomes the new TP champion. And then they show footage from earlier of Rude entering the building and also Styles arriving to the building. Then you get a promo for tonight's tag title match. TNA tag title match was up next. Inc. and Toxin versus Next America and Sarita. Yes, it's a mixed tag for the titles. And the way I predicted it almost came true. I predicted one of the one of the divas that I predicted to win didn't happen, but the point is that the divas, knockouts for TNA did get involved in the match and did get a attempted fall. I was thinking they were going to get the pinfall on one or the other to either gain the championship or keep the titles. Well, long story short, the tag title same. Guys in the ring first came Inc., followed by TNA Tag Champions, Mexican America, Anarchy, and Shannon Moore start things off. Back and forth action until Hernandez and Janelle came in. Hernandez more power face to face, and Moore comes in. Me standing up to Shawn Hernandez, who was about 6'7", 6'8". I did not realize that Jesse Neal was that tall. Well, they almost stand pretty tall. Well, if you count his mohawk, I guess they would be tall, the same height. Well, Neal knocked him down and Moore came in. Hernandez caught Moore in the air and slammed him down. Anarchy come back in and went at it with Moore. Moore with a Hurricane Rana for 2. Neal comes back in and gets beat down by Anarchy. Mexican America continued on Neal until he comes back with a spear on Hernandez. Toxin and Sarita come in and they go at it. Sarita misses a drop kick. She drop kicks her. Inc. cleared her as an Anarchy. Moore moves onto the floor and takes them both out. Moore and Toxin double team Anarchy. And Anarchy gets his his pants pulled down. Nothing but his athletic support. So you can see the bottom strap. And of course he was wearing the thing on top. He had his shirt on, so you couldn't really tell that he was totally naked because he wasn't. Well, Neal leaped over the top and landed on Hernandez. Rosita went at it with Toxin, allowing Sarita to attack from behind with the belt. Sarita covered for the win. So there you go. Sarita got the pin for the win. As I predicted it, one of the knockouts got the win. Mexican America keeps their titles because they got the pinfall. Jeremy Borash backstage with Austin Aries. That's a double A. And Kid Cash talking about X Division title. And Kid Cash tries to mention a few curse words, like saying the word ASS. And Austin Aries tell him you cannot say that on the program. But yeah, he turns around and says it himself. Well, go figure. Always stay in plan, stay in plan, stay in plan. Well, obviously the plan didn't go through into Kid Cash's plans because he thought he was going to win the match. Details at the end of this. At the end of this little segment. Okay, the X Division title was up next. Triple threat. Jesse Sorensen versus Kid Cash versus Austin Aries. We go to the ring. Out first comes Jesse, followed by Kid Cash, followed by X Division champion Austin Aries was out next. Bell rings, and after some stalling, they go at it. Cash and Aries end up on the floor, allowing Sorensen to dive over the ropes to take him out. Cash attacks from behind and kicks Sorensen around. Lots of back and forth action. Sorensen hits a huge splash off the top for a 2 count on Aries. As Cash breaks the pin, Cash and Aries continue to double team on Sorensen. The match goes on, and Sorensen goes to the top. Cash beats him and brings him back to the mat with a big superplex. Cash has a chance to go for the pin and doesn't. Continuing the attack on Sorensen, Cash hits the moneymaker, but Aries pulls Sorensen's leg on the bottom rope from the outside, which breaks the hold. Aries comes in, takes advantage. Well, he's playing the part of the Repo Man as he's trying to sneak around the ring. And he rolls Cash up from behind for the win as Cash was arguing with the referee. So Austin Aries keeps his title for another month. Jeremy Borash is backstage with AJ Styles talking about tonight's main event. No DQ match is up next between RVD versus Daniels. So it seems to be. Daniels takes a mic before the match and tries to worm his way out of things. Bell rings and they go at it. It's supposed to be a gentleman's match. It's supposed to be a wrestling match because RVD and Daniels cried and cried and cried. RVD agreed. So it was supposedly to be a wrestling match. Well, on with the match. Bell rings and they go at it. RVD with a headlock. RVD takes Daniels down and puts him in a body sitters. Still a wrestling match. Getting a couple of 2 counts. Daniels gets back dropped and runs into a big super kick for another 2. And RVD keeps control for the most part of it until Daniels blocks the sunset flip and stomps away. Daniels keeps RVD grounded in the corner and shows off for the crowd. So far, still a wrestling match. Daniels with a heel kick to the face and gets a 2 count. More back and forth action until Daniels connects with a big driver for a 2 count. Daniels connects with a kick to the back of the head and goes down. Daniels with a running forearm in the corner. Daniels holds his RVD. Daniels charges again, but RVD gets his feet up. They shots at RVD, connect with 2 cuts at a spring kick. Daniels in the top rope, legs. Crotched. RVD goes up to the top, kicks him out to the floor. They fight up to the ramp, and Daniels ends up on the guardrail. Daniels makes his way back to the ring, and from Daniels when he crawled under the ring. He got another 2 count, more back and forth action, so now it's a hardcore match again, no disqualification. RVD connected with a kick to the chair, to the face. Okay, what was I not mentioning in this report was they forgot about Daniels crawling back under the ring to get his screwdriver. Well, he attempted to use the screwdriver on Daniels, and Daniels took the chair to block the screwdriver, knocking it out of his hand. And, of course, the Van Daminator was next, which sets up the Frog Splash for the win. Jeremy Borash and Rob Terry and the new TV champion, about how he will be the TV champion ever. Crimson versus Matt Morgan was next. They go to the ring first. Matt Morgan. Well, this wasn't much of a match. It ended up as a double DQ, and then they brawled afterwards, basically. But first, I'll go ahead with the report. Bell rang, and they squared off. Morgan connected with a big offense first. Morgan comes with a carbon footprint to report the boot footprint. And Crimson slams Crimson back into the shoulders and sends him over to the floor. They go at it on the floor. Uses Morgan's head into the barrier. There was one point in the match where Matt Morgan actually jumped over, as tall as he is, he jumped over the steel steps to the ring. To the ring apron, I should say. Crimson throws Morgan into the steps, but he jumped over them, like I was just saying. Morgan back kicks the steps into Crimson's leg and kicks it back into the ring. Morgan hits a big side slam and continues to be in control. Morgan takes it back to the corner and hits a series of blows. Crimson comes back with forearms and a big exploder suplex for a pin attempt. Morgan turns it around, hits more shoulder thrusts in the corner. Crimson turns it around and hits a half Nelson attempt on the floor. But Morgan broke out with a 2 count. Morgan clothesline Crimson for a 2 count. More back and forth action. Morgan keeps control, but now Crimson catches him in a big sit-down powerbomb for 2. Morgan and Crimson meet in the middle of the ring, and they have words. They trade big right hands. The right hands continue, and the referee gets pushed away twice. Once by Morgan, and then once by Crimson. And then they both knock him down at the same time. So the ref calls for a double DQ. After the bell, Crimson and Morgan continue to throw punches until security comes down to stop it for a minute. Well, they went back at it again on the floor, this time brawling. Security stops things again to end it. Jeremy Borax is backstage with Scott Steiner and Bully Ray talking about their tag team matchup tonight. And Papa Pump's still saying that he's got the largest arm in wrestling. His arms on the world. Whatever. Scott and Bully versus Mr. Anderson. And Abyss is up next. First comes Bully Ray and Scott Steiner. Representing Immortal, Mr. Anderson is out next, and he has word from the ceiling. His partner. Anderson and Ray start things off. Ray stalls before they finally lock up. Anderson takes Ray down with an armbar. Anderson keeps control and barely connects with a pin attempt. Anderson with a headlock now. Ray counters and takes him down. Tagging is Steiner. Steiner takes Anderson to the corner, works him over. Steiner throws Anderson to the corner again and distracts the ref, allowing Ray to get a sneak attack. Ray comes in and they continue working on Anderson's leg. Anderson turns it around and drops Ray as the crowd chants for Steiner. Yeah, Steiner's getting crowd pops. Steiner and Abyss come in, but the referee didn't see it. Abyss gets tagged in, so he must leave the ring. Okay, he didn't see Abyss, so get tagged in, so Abyss had to leave the ring. Ray and Steiner double team Anderson again. Anderson finally turns around and drops Ray. Abyss finally gets the tag legally, cleans house. Abyss takes out Steiner and Ray, splashing them in the corner. Abyss with a big slam on Steiner. After sending Ray to the floor, Abyss hits a huge splash from the ropes for a close 2 count on Steiner. Abyss chokeslams Steiner now and covers him for the pin, but Ray broke it up. Ray beat Abyss down and they try to double team him, but he grabbed him for a double choke slam. Ray stops it, but Abyss clotheslines them both. Ray kicks Abyss in the head and clotheslines him out to the floor. Anderson is a legal man after tagging in. Abyss pulls Ray out to the floor while Anderson leaps onto Steiner for a 2 count. Steiner counters and suplexes Anderson on his face. Steiner covers for close 2. Steiner takes Anderson up top. Nails the Frankensteiner. Steiner covers for a 2, but the referee informs him Anderson is illegal. Abyss comes in from behind and hits a black hole slam for the win. After the match, Ray comes in and lays out Abyss. Losers beat the winners down and bring in a table. Abyss through the hole, but immediately stands back up and stares both on. Ray Bully turns shocked and leaves the ring. It's like, I slammed you through a table and you got up. To quote Ron Simmons, damn! Or I should say Farouk. So the winners of the match are Abyss and Mr. Anderson. Jeremy Borax backstage again, with this time with Karen Jarrett and the Knockout Tag Team Champion Gail Kim and Madison Rain. And this was my prediction that Gail Kim would win the championship tonight, and she does. Let me go to the get to the match. Okay, they talk about Gail's shot against Velvet Sky tonight. Karen says she brought in Gail Kim because she's a role model to young girls. Gail says she's never been more ready, and this is going to be a piece of cake. Karen says Gail doesn't need her or Madison out there with her tonight, but they still go out there towards the end of the match. Karen says Gail is going to her business the way it's supposed to be done. And your title match, Gail Kim beating Velvet Sky. First they got first came for knockout champions Gail. Out next comes knockout champion Velvet Sky, and they do the little let the pigeons fly thing. Velvet attacks Gail right before the bell starts. They start brawling. She sends Gail to the floor and drop kicks her in the mouth. Velvet brings it back in the ring and clotheslines Gail. Velvet with a cross body for a two. With a closed corner now, and then the right hand. Gail turns it around, kicks Velvet around. Gail would kick to the stomach and a big kick to the face. Karen Jarrett comes walking to the stage, clapping. Gail with a 2 count on Velvet. Velvet fights her to her feet, but Gail catches her in midair and hits the backbreaker over her knee. Gail with an abdominal Velvet blocks with a jackhammer. Another 2 counters and kill out of midair. Velvet with a close knees to the face paint. Velvet drops Gail attempts more fourth. Runs over and distracts the referee while Matt Rain comes in and lays out Velvet from behind. Gail still only gets a 2 count. Gail goes to the top but misses a senton on Velvet. Velvet with a 2 count. Gail gets an interference advantage. Gets a win. Gail take to TNA. Gail Bischoff on the phone. Wife about her. Garrett Bischoff says he's going to send Garrett back to her in a bag on Thursday. Bully Ray walks in and he's upset, talking about how the table spot didn't affect the Biz. Ray says things with Hulk Hogan are going wrong and things with the Biz are going wrong. So Bischoff needs to fix things. Ray can't get over the fact that Biz got right up with a table. And Ray, and then they cut a versus Jeff match. Jeff Hardy versus Jarrett. They go to the ring. Out first comes Jeff Jarrett with Karen. Jeff Hardy is out next and wearing a new helmet to the ring. Kind of looks like a gremlin, grayish green. And he's wearing a green face paint underneath. Ring and the bell sounds. They go right at it. It's supposed to be a 2 out of 3 falls. Well, it does. And Jeff wins this match. All 3 falls go to Jeff. And this is how it happens. Immediately, they go right at it. Well, not quite. Twist of fate. Pinfall. First win, Jeff Hardy. After the match, Jarrett's pissed and wants the referee to restart the match. Bell sounds to get Hardy out. And here we go. Jarrett beats the crowd chants for him. Hardy comes back with a forearm shots and a kick to the corner. And an elbow in the corner and Jarrett turns around. Jarrett slides out to the floor and another hand off the ropes and Jarrett plays to the crowd. Off the ropes again, but Hardy catches him and drops him on his face for a 2 count. Hardy goes up top, but Jarrett knocks him down to the mat. Jarrett keeps whipping Hardy into the corner and running his mouth. Hardy fights with right hands, but locks sleeper hold. Hardy breaks. They go to the feet and Hardy rolling for 2. Hardy blocks. Jarrett blocks the twist of fate and goes for the figure 4. Hardy another quick win. That's match number 2. After the match, Jarrett grabs a chair and runs up the ramp, hitting Hardy in the head with it. Jarrett beats Hardy back in the ring and bullies Earl Hebner in. Jarrett hits Hardy with a stroke and forces Hebner to make the count. Hebner counts the pin, but Hardy kicks out at 2. Hardy rolls Jarrett up again 3rd time. Taz go to hype to backstage wrestlers. And Jeff and Styles walks up and they stop. AJ and Hardy shake hands before they both walk off. JB is backstage with Bobby Roode tonight with tonight's world title match versus Bobby. They go right to the ring, and out first comes the challenger AJ Styles. Tonight's reaction from the crowd. TNA World Champion Bobby Roode is up next. JB goes for a formal ring introduction, and here we go. They lock up and break. Roode stalls a bit and they lock up again. Going to the corner, they break, and Rude gets a cheap shot in. AJ knocks him to the mat. Rude goes to the floor to run his mouth. Rude knocks AJ into the corner with right hands. AJ fights out, but Rude stops him and applies a headlock. They run the ropes and AJ drops Rude back out to the floor with a drop kick. AJ brings it back in the ring and suplexes Rude. AJ takes it back to the corner and works over Rude. Taking it to the next corner, AJ chops on the corner now. AJ keeps it up, going from corner to corner to corner with Rude. AJ keeps control of the match until Rude kicks him in the face and connects with a running clothesline. The crowd boos as Rude beats AJ around. Rude charges, but AJ moves, and Rude lands on the floor. AJ leaps off the apron and takes out Rude. Lost my spot. Against the fan barrier, AJ picks Rude up and drops him over the top of the barrier. They make it back, and Rude drop kicks AJ back out. Rude rams AJ back in the apron and back in the ring. Rude covers again, and AJ kicks out. They get to the ice out of the curve. Rude runs. It comes off Rude. Rude drops AJ on the covers for a 2. Rude AJ down with a hold on the mat now. They got to their feet, but Rude keeps control. AJ ran into a boot in the corner, and Rude goes to the second rope. AJ met him with a right hand. AJ takes Rude up top for the superplex, but Rude headbutts him back to the mat. AJ rolls back up, grabs Rude, and this time nailing the superplex. They make it to their feet. AJ Rude hands. AJ back series of climbs, and AJ with forearm in the corner in the back for a 2 count. Rude blocks a move, and AJ ends up on the apron. AJ goes for the springboard in, but Rude cuts him off. They go back and forth. And AJ catches AJ with a spine buster for a 2. And Rude shows his frustration. AJ counters the fisherman suplex from Rude and backdrops him. AJ springboards in, but Rude moves and AJ lands on his knees. AJ counters Rude with a roll up for a 2. AJ goes for a Styles Clash, but Rude fights it. Rude turned it into a crossface and locks in a submission in the middle of the ring. The hold is broken and AJ can barely power. Okay, the hold is broken and AJ tried to power bomb Rude. AJ took it to the corner and charged. Rude backdropped him to the apron. AJ springboard in with a forearm shot, but Rude kicks out at 2. AJ pushed Rude into the corner and held him from behind. Referee comes behind AJ. Rude goes to back kick AJ with a low blow, but it hits the referee instead, and he goes down. So this is your first referee bump. Rude goes for the win, but the referee is slow to get up because he's still playing the low blow. AJ rolls Rude up for a 2. AJ kicks Rude with the insecurity, but he doesn't go down. AJ goes for the side, but with the right hands, and AJ leaps with a hand, and Rude goes down, backs up in the corner, and spears Rude with a right. They low and forward. AJ would chop Rude on with a crotch shot, I should say, causing Rude to fall out to the floor. Well, they make it back to the ring. Rude got a near fall. He continued to work over Styles and hit a fireman's carry flapjack for a 2. Rude went up top, but Styles caught him in a superplex. Caught him and hit a superplex. Styles picks up the pace at this point, and he hit a series of clotheslines before hitting a backbreaker. Rude hit a spine buster for a near fall. Rude went for his fisherman suplex, but Styles reversed it into the back suplex. Styles went for a springboard 450 splash, but Rude moved. Styles attempted the Styles Clash, but Rude reversed it into the crossface. Styles got out of the hole and hit springboard forearm for a near fall. Rude low blowed Styles and the referee at once, and he got a near fall for his efforts. So that was a second referee bump. Got hit. Styles caught Rude with an insecurity. Rude begged off Styles, and Styles responded by flipping him off. by doing the banana peel and then just did the little thing. Styles elbowed Rude and hit and sent him to the floor. Styles went for a suicide dive, but Rude moved and Styles landed hard on his back. Well, it was actually on the back, but the padding was there. Back in the ring, Rude hit his fisherman suplex for a girl. He went for another, but ate a Pele kick from Styles. Styles went for the Styles Clash. Rude reversed it into a roll-up and grabbed the tights with leverage for the win. After the match, Bobby Roode held up the championship belt at ringside, staring at an upset AJ Styles as pay-per-view goes off the air. Mike today closed the show by adding, Bobby Roode will do quoted by saying, Bobby Roode will do anything to retain his TNA World Heavyweight title, unquote. Then they did a promo for TNA Final Resolution for December 11th, and it aired. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I hate seeing a long, well-wrestled match end with a freaking roll-up. It just feels like a waste of time. Like I said earlier, this match was a very well wrestled and both worked their asses off. But the cheap shot finish was just annoying. Similar to a previous pay-per-view where Rude lost his match. First time he got his title shot. All the show wrestled matches over like an addition of extra hour is annoying to spend. Why I don't only get your fix for free every week for free TV. What's worse, when TNA spends the last few weeks before a pay-per-view on the road, come back to Tag Zone shows, it makes it pay like a cheaper product than the weekly show. That ends my pay-per-view results for Turning Point. Thank you, and y'all shall see me doing my report on WWE tomorrow.